So I had an appointment in Graz, and I wouldn't make it on time because I only finished like 30 minutes ago. So I decided let's do the live streams from the car because what is digital nomadism or remote work when you don't do also live streams from your car, right? So today uh we have a very interesting topic, but I'm wondering if you yourself indeed found out what kind of topic that could be. So it's a painter's palette, it's Yoshi. What could it be? What's in the sock is the big question on the fourth episode of What's in the Sock? So colors and Yoshi. What is Yoshi? We had awesome suggestions from Amanda and Tom, who likes it. MS Paint. People, I am a Mac user, so technically I don't have MS Paint on here. So that's not it. But what we're going to talk about today is colors. Bam. So what I'm going to show you, there are a few things when you work on your brand and when you do some designing that you always kind of are in the middle of what kind of colors should I even use. So I don't know if you know that already, but colors generally do have. Did I even switch? I didn't, right? Oh, I did. It just stream is just delayed. Sorry. So colors in general do have different sorts of meanings. So I just pulled up a random Google search that I typed in. You can type in properties of colors or psychological properties of colors or color psychology. There are all the colors do have different sorts of meanings. I'm sorry that I'm sweating like crazy here, but I'm in my car and the windows are closed and we have too many degrees. So we keep this short and sweet. So as I said, colors do have different kinds of meanings. For example, red could stand for strength, warmth, energy. Could also be something that shows basic survival or masculinity, which I find weird, but whatever. Excitement. Also, negative things obviously stand also for the colors. So it's like defiance, aggression, visual impact, strain, etc. So there are all the other colors obviously do have a same or a similar, like the meaning that fits the color. So that could be one way that you can go about and technically find out what could be the color realm that you actually going to choose your branding colors from. So the thing is, one could take that really seriously, right? And say my brand is, I don't know, especially if it's your personal brand. I don't think that it is important. But for example, if you want your brand to be very feminine, and you don't really like pink, but like pink or light purple, no, you know what I mean, the light kind of pink is really nothing that you want, then I always also go a bit to personal preferences, because in the end it's you that your brand is you, right? But you can especially figure that out if we do brand colors, that there are like other companies that do have, I mean, every company has a logo, right? And every company uses brand colors. So the question is that, so when they develop these colors, they obviously do have think about it, about the psychological point of view. I hope it's still working. Someone is calling me. Um, so as you can see here, I'm going to pull up that color emotion guide. I hope it's working. Am I still moving? I'm still moving. So obviously, big brands do talk about or do think about their own color psychology and what does make more sense. So for example, all the fun things they have, like Orange and Nickelodeon, like Hooters, it's like cheerful, it shows confidence, it's friendly. And obviously brands like that want to display this sort of emotion with a brand are going to use that kind of brand. If you take a look at your apps icons, for example, it's often the case that everything that has to do with communication is blue, because it's like it suggests trust, it's dependable, it's strength. For example, if I have a look at my phone right now, the inbox icon for Google is blue, for example, or Facebook is blue, Twitter is blue. Um, those are all accounts nope, the radio. I heard just turned the radio turned itself on. Um, so it does display some kind of emotion. All the colors transport some sort of emotion. So uh, if you want to figure out what kind of colors you would want to use for your brand, I would personally start with, what colors do you really like? What are the colors that you feel are the most you? I mean, I know that, for example, someone said orange is a cheerful, friendly, fun color, but I really don't like orange. So I wouldn't have taken, even if the color displays are things that I would really like, I wouldn't have chosen orange for my brand colors, just because I personally don't really like orange. So go from there, start with that, and then look at the psychological aspects of the different kinds of colors, and then you can for sure find at least one or two colors that you really kind of like and go with them. So the thing is, you have one color in mind, and then you can start how to figure out what other kinds of colors you can use. Maybe you have an image that you really, really like, and you like the entire feeling that image displays, and that's what, if you look at image, that is what you feel your brand should feel like. Then there are some awesome tools that you can use. For example, the Canva color palette generator. You will not, if you have a Canva account, you will not find that without just simply going into Google, type in Google Canva color palette, and then this page will turn up. And there you can take this image exactly and upload it. I downloaded the sunflower for you. And Canva will spit out a color palette from your photos. So there you will see it randomly chose colors from that image that fit well together, and those could be colors that you use with your branding. For example, if you feel like, well, I really do like the dark goldenrod and the gold, but I don't like blue very much, and the other three are not really my cup of tea, you could go to another tool that I'm going to show you today, which is coolers. You just copy the hex code that's there. Go to coolers. It's coolers.co. Click on generate. Sorry, I'm sweating here, guys. I don't even know who's on here. My mobile phone just says just Elaine is watching. So hello, Elaine. But maybe there are comments. If there are, I'm sorry, I don't see them. So while it's loading, I keep on sweating. So yeah, just as a general quick reminder up front, I did a video quite a long time ago. It was one of the first videos I did that's not under the Moni Does Stuff realm, which talks about the differences between the color systems, which is RGB and CMYK. Those are two color realms, I'll just call them, that work in a different kind of area. So if you are a business that also produces print graphics, I would always make sure that you have the equivalent of in both colors, because the hex code only generates RGB kind of colors because that's what you see on your screen, right? But some things they don't work within printing. Yes, exactly. So gold, for example, is an awesome color. Hi, Linda, by the way. But gold is also something that's more of a metal, so it's metallic. You cannot really translate that properly into a RGB color, right? Or into a printing color. There could be probably printing colors that could generate a gold for you, but some colors are just difficult to display or to create numbers from. So as I mentioned, the hex code is just RGB code. So it could be that you have like all the neon colors, like really bright turquoise, for example. Let me just pull one of that up. So the saturation is like, oh, wrong side, really high. And it's like, especially with greens, it will always look different within printing. So you have to make sure that you have a nice version that you feel comfortable with. All these neon-y kind of colors, you know, that purple that hits your eye, or the green that hits your eye, like this one. That's like really bright and really shiny. That's not something you will be possible to recreate in print. So you always have to really figure out what do you use it for. If it's just an online business and you don't really produce printing material, then what the hell, right? I mean, you can still use it if you don't use if you never plan on printing anything, but in general it could be different. And especially what's really complicated and what really makes a lot of difference is in the green realm. So they will look totally different within the printing realm of color. So the CMYK, whatever. So as I mentioned, when coolers is loaded, you can copy in the hex code that we've chosen from Canva. So now it works. And boom, you can add that one, and that one's locked, and we can get our dark goldenrod. Paste that in here. Get rid of the hex thing before. And then you can lock that also. And then what you can do is press the spacebar, and it will generate colors that match the two colors that you've entered. You just have to make sure that you've locked them. And the more you click on the spacebar, the more colors it will suggest to you. So that's pretty cool. If you just have like two ideas of colors, but don't know what really matches, and you don't know if that's a feeling that you want to go for, then you can go to coolers and try that there. Another thing that I would want to show you here, that's kind of similar to cooler, but if you're an Adobe user, that's pretty freaking awesome, because you can generate color palettes here that you can save into your CC library, and then it will automatically sync with all of your Adobe products. That's freaking awesome. But also here is the same thing. On the one hand, you can explore color palettes, which is pretty nice, because sometimes you just don't really have a clue and you don't know what you could technically go for. So there you can explore what are the most popular, and then look at them and edit them, for example, and just look at the color palettes and see what kind of color palette you would kind of like, and then go from there and adjust accordingly to whatever kind of need you have. But you can also create your own. Same thing here with the import image. So I'm going to do that with the sunflower now, just because I'm curious if they will actually spit out similar colors. And as you see here, they give you kind of different colors. So while you cannot really choose here within Canva because they decided for you, you can go to the color palette from Adobe, and you can see that you can drag around the dots of where you feel this could be nice, and it will create the color palette from there. So let's just take this one and go to the color wheel. And as you can see, it took the colors from the color wheel, and you say, wow, I really love this green, and set that one as a base color, and then you can play around a bit more, which is pretty fun, because you can say, I want the colors to be like kind of the same. Then you can choose an just I can't pronounce it right. So they're all from kind of the same color realm. Like monochromatic, it will give you a separate color palette, or triad, so it will have, as you can see, and it's really nice if you see that on the spectrum here. So you have like from 3 different color areas, you get 3 different kinds of colors, and those who fit that one. Or complementary, because if you do a little bit of color, I don't, it's not really color psychology, it's kind of color, the teachings of color. So there are complementary colors. If you're an artist, you know that, for example, blue and orange, the complementary color to blue is orange, or stuff like that. So if you had arts in school, I think I'm really pretty sure you came across that already. So there you can generate like complementary colors if that's what you want to go for, or compound colors, or shades. 50 Shades of Green, for example. Yay, that's my kind of thing. Or you can custom, you can always click on the color and you can custom adjust them as you like. Yeah, that's a few ways. I showed you that one already. These are a few ways of how you can technically figure out what kind of color you will want to go for. And in the end, it's all a decision, and I know that opinions and tastes always, yeah, people have different kinds of tastes. So I personally don't judge if someone really doesn't like the sort of colors that I use, because I like them. I love green, and I think it goes well with purple, so that's why I'm using them. Others do use pink, and I don't judge, or I try not to judge. But you have to figure out what works for you and what you feel happy with. But those are just a few ways on how you can actually get your own color palette for your whatever project you're having, for your brand, for a client's brand, or for whatever else. So boom. Thanks for watching today and for seeing me sweat over here. It was an interesting episode from my car, and now I'm going to pack the stuff up and I'm going to get some food, and then I'm driving home. And I hope you see you all again next week. And all the announcements will come then. I hope that I didn't have anyone on my stream, like an actual person, so that I don't have GDPR problems, but I think I hit it really well. So, see you again next Thursday, I think. I'm not sure, but you will notice. And I obviously am totally going to pet Yoshi. He will be very happy. It's his birthday tomorrow, just as a random hint. So see you again soon. And if you haven't already, just check out my page, or you can also follow my Patreon. But other than that, have a great rest of your day, and see you again soon. Bye.